Imagine looking up at the sky above your small town and seeing a city. Towers, skyscrapers, windows, all glowing and suspended in the clouds like a ghostly metropolis floating over your world. People in different countries have sworn they've seen it, whole city skylines appearing where none actually exist. Some say it's a natural phenomenon, and some say it's a secret government project. And still others say it's proof that we live in a simulation, one that occasionally glitches. Tonight we're talking about the mystery of floating cities in the sky. Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Mysterious. And if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Danny, and we explore all kinds of mysteries from aliens to paranormal stories to unexplained phenomena. So if you're into this kind of thing, check out my guide to what they don't want you to know about consciousness. It's free and it's in the description box below. Channel memberships also help keep episodes like this possible. If you don't want to do that on YouTube, you can also get the same perks through Patreon. And also, thank you for your continued support because with that, I was able to upgrade my camera. So I'm super excited because to me, it looks pretty good. The spacing's better, the lighting's better. So I'm really excited. So with all that out of the way, let's get to today's mystery. I found this topic when I came across a video of an account of a strange floating city in the sky above Nigeria. In 2011, villagers in Dulali, a small settlement in Bauchi State, Nigeria, alleged they witnessed a transparent cloud like mass slowly moving over their village. Inside this floating cloud were tall buildings, paved roads, and cars, as well as the sound of machinery humming, described by locals as a flying city or what some call an interdimensional city. Hundreds of villagers, including children and religious leaders, reportedly observed and corroborated the same phenomena. The entire event, interestingly, is listed as false on Snopes, despite hundreds of news articles detailing witness accounts and the original footage still in existence. And then in 2015, a video surfaced and made worldwide news. The event took place in Foshan, China. A shaky camera pans over to the horizon, showing a transparent but very visible city skyline. And then in 2018, another short video surfaced of a different city in China, showing again a transparent city skyline in the clouds, with buildings and structures of completely different shapes than the city below. In 2020, again, a woman in China took a video of a similar scene with a city floating in the air, buildings showing visible windows, and she called it beautiful like a fairyland. The incredible image did not fade for an entire 4 hours. Floating cities in the sky aren't a modern mystery. The Hopi people of the American Southwest told stories of sky villages inhabited by star beings. In Tibetan lore, there are tales of Shambhala, no, not the Three Dog Night song, which is one of my favorite songs of all time, but a hidden city said to occasionally appear in the clouds to those pure enough to see it. And in Celtic myth, there's a story of Hy-Brasil, a phantom island that appeared off the Irish coast once every 7 years before fading into the mist. These stories may or may not be literal, but they all share the same theme: places that appear only in fleeting moments. Scientists explain this away by the phenomena called Fata Morgana, basically a mirage. Fata Morgana is an optical phenomenon that creates the illusion of seeing objects or structures in the distance, often appearing as distorted or mirage-like images. It occurs when light rays pass through layers of air with different temperatures, causing them to bend or refract. This bending of light can create the appearance of objects that are actually located beyond the horizon or are not there at all. Imagine you're looking at a hot road on a sunny day. The air close to the road gets heated and rises, while the air higher up is cooler. When light passes through these different air layers, it gets bent, creating a curved path. So your eyes receive these bent light rays and perceive them as if they came from a different location, making objects appear higher or lower than they actually are. This is very difficult to explain without actually seeing it for yourself. So I'm going to show an image here of looks like a cruise ship floating on the horizon. And this is a really good example because you can see it's not floating where you would normally perceive it to be because of the different layers of air. This optical illusion can be quite fascinating and can occur in various environments, such as deserts or over bodies of water. A famous example of this is the Flying Dutchman, an infamous ghost ship that's been seen for over 3 centuries. Sailors have told of a ghostly ship that appears on the horizon, glowing against the water. But what many might not realize is that this haunting vision can sometimes be explained by a natural phenomenon known as a superior mirage or Fata Morgana. When layers of warm and cold air bend light over the ocean, distant ships beyond the curve of the Earth can appear to hover, sail upside down, or glow eerily in midair. To old mariners, this ghostly vision was an omen of doom, but according to scientists, it's just sort of an optical illusion. In 1796, sailors off the coast of Sicily reported seeing a crystal clear castle hovering over the water, complete with towers, arches, and moving figures. It terrified them so much that they thought it was a vision from heaven or hell. Locals called it Fata Morgana, named after the sorceress Morgan Le Fay, who was said to conjure illusions to lure sailors to their deaths. Similar sightings have appeared in 1897 and even modern times over Alaska and the Great Lakes. These were often dismissed as mirages, but the consistency across centuries keeps the legend alive and maybe explains why we still can't look away when something impossible appears right in front of us. Fata Morgana is actually the name of arguably the most famous mirage. This mirage is commonly seen over the Strait of Messina that runs through Italy. This appears as a castle that moves and shifts while you're looking at it and has been seen for centuries. A really cool mirage that I read about is called a sundog, which can be seen when the sun hits the horizon at sunrise or sunset, and it appears as bright spots around the sun. Mirages are a really cool natural phenomenon. Speaking of, did you know when the sun hits the water, it's actually called sun glitter? But there's a problem with some of these sky cities. The Foshan videos don't really behave like a normal mirage. First, the skyline doesn't line up with any city nearby. Second, reflections are visible on the supposed windows as if light is bouncing off real glass. And third, mirages tend to distort and wobble, but in these clips, the towers look perfect. They have straight lines and even spacing. And that's why so many people doubt the Fata Morgana explanation. So, if it's not a mirage, what is it? Well, the first theory is that for brief moments or sometimes even hours, we can see into other dimensions. Maybe this is some sort of imprint from a civilization long past replaying on a loop for us to see in the sky. Or maybe this is an actual doorway and we're looking into an alternate dimension. This idea isn't as crazy as it sounds when you consider the other bleed-through glitches like time slips, deja vu, or even the case of Lorena Garcia. Maybe reality itself sometimes misfires and we glimpse the structures of another world. Another theory is what's called the residual loop, and that's similar to the stone tape theory we discussed in a previous episode. Instead of spirits or cities replaying, maybe whole landscapes or cities leave an imprint on the fabric of our world, and under the right conditions, they appear into view again. Some scientists believe mass sightings like this might be a form of shared hallucination or collective perception. When environmental cues and suggestion cause a large group to see the same thing, but that theory doesn't explain the cameras that caught the Foshan skyline in perfect detail. So, are we dealing with a trick of the mind, some sort of mirage, or something much stranger, a trick of reality itself? I think another possibility could be Project Bluebeam. This is supposedly a conspiracy theory that I think could be true. And this is the theory that using technology, governments will fake an alien invasion or second coming in order to instill one world order. Part of this supposed plan is that they will use holographic technology to display some of these events in the sky. And when you think about it, the floating cities do look eerily similar to what you'd expect from a massive hologram. And China has experimented with drone swarms that form entire 3D shapes above crowds. What better cover story than to dismiss it all as a mirage? If you think about it, holographic projection isn't science fiction anymore. NASA experimented with 3D holograms for astronaut training as early as 2014. And then China staged massive sky drone displays that looked like dragons and phoenixes flying through the night. But Project Bluebeam does take this a step further. This theory claims that all these tests are in preparation and to condition the public to accept large-scale holograms as actual real events. So one day, when something truly massive appears in the sky, we'll believe it's divine or extraterrestrial. So there are three possibilities. One, a rare but explainable optical illusion, science but with holes in the theory. Two, a dimensional bleed, through a glitch in reality, letting us glimpse another world. Or this could be a glitch in the sense that, as the stone tape theory says, it's replaying some part of history. Or three, a test of the holographic technology that we already have, Project Bluebeam, unfolding right in front of us. Maybe every now and then the light hits just right, showing us a reflection of another dimension. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Wicked Mysterious. I know it's a little bit shorter than usual, but it's for good reason. I am working on a lot of projects that I think you're really going to enjoy. So I do have a gate update coming. I did make a post about this so you guys knew what was going on, but I do have a massive update and it is pretty research heavy. So over the next few weeks, you might see a little bit shorter episodes. But don't worry, I have a lot of stuff coming up for you. So yeah, that's my update on that. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you never miss a mystery. I will see you next week, and until then, stay mysterious.